I was recently editing one of my old photos in Lightroom Mobile and I found this new trick to enhance the colors of the photo. So mostly what happens in landscape photos is that you can't control all the colors at once, so you have to use different tools. Lightroom has implemented some of these new tools in its app, so like color grading and luminance masking. We'll see how to use these new tools. So let's jump into this. So we are into the Lightroom mobile app right now, and this is the photograph. I have lost the raw file, accidentally deleted it, so this is the JPEG file and it was taken with Gcam, so that's why it was not a compatible Gcam, so the shadows has a lot of noise. We can get rid of it because we don't want shadows, because there is nothing in the foreground, so we can get rid of that magenta noise. It happens due to something that the photograph doesn't have any details to bring out from the shadows, so it's because of the excess use of ISO, and Gcam does multiple stacking of high dynamic range photos, so it causes this noise, but in good light it doesn't show up. So let's edit this one, and I will show you a couple of new tools and how to use these tools in such photos which have a lot of tones and colors in it, which you can't control with just HSL panel. So let's decrease the highlights a little bit. As this is a JPEG, we have to edit a little bit. Let's go to tone curve and I will make a S curve. By S curve you are basically adding contrast. You can balance it from here. Let's go to the colors. I will increase the vibrance, and you can see you cannot control the different tonal values. So if you go to the blue, I don't know if you can see this, but there are a lot of different hues of blue in this photo, but it can't decide on which one it is to illuminate. So we can change it to more bluish. Previous Lightroom apps had this feature where you can tap and hold to see where the settings are affecting. Maybe they have removed it after some time. Let's go to orange, and we can turn orange into more of a reddish, and reddish into more pink, and the cyan into blue, greens into browns basically, and we have to keep yellow because otherwise it looks like two opposite colors in the sky. We can even increase the hue. That one looks fine. This is before, this is after. We can increase the temperature a little bit, and let's go to the color grading section. Here we can introduce oranges in highlights and blues in the shadows around 210, and in mid-tones we can add something that looks good. So this one looks fine, maybe this one. You can use the balance slider to see which it actually separates all the tonal values, so you can choose in between. Let's go to clarity. I will reduce the clarity a little bit. This is the JPEG, so reducing clarity will only affect on the details and sharpness, so let's keep it a little bit. I will increase the dehaze a little bit, and texture. We can also add texture later with selective tools. let's do that later. It's a straight image. I don't think we need to adjust the horizon in this one. So let's go to Selective Tools, and here there are two new tools added, and the whole layout is changed now. You can use the color range. So if you choose a particular color, it selects that color like a mask, and you can refine it, and you can choose the area that mostly covered with this particular color that you have selected, and if you apply it, that becomes a mask. And now you can modify that. You can increase saturation, you can change the hue to literally anything. That is the best part about this. You can also make a copy of that mask. You can reduce the highlights. You can increase the texture. Okay, this is what I was talking about, increasing the texture after selecting the mask. Okay, so let's add another. So that is about color range. We can add another color range masks. For the blue tone, we will refine it only for the sky and not the foreground. You can also rename these masks. So let's increase saturation a little bit. You can tap on that blue icon of the mask to see the masked area, and tap again, it goes away. Let's change the hue, and I think it's oversaturated, so let's decrease saturation and increase the blacks, add some blacks, increase the contrast, again decrease saturation. If you add contrast, saturation increases. So let's add another. The radial gradient to make some more adjustments. So I have added this one here. I will add another gradient just here to increase the shadows of this area and to change the hue. I will add another one just right here. Again, change the hue to something like this. This is before, this is after. It has created this orange and teal effect. So let's get rid of that first. Make the blues more blues and violet towards the blues, and we can increase the balance value. What we can do is again change the value of orange and reds. Let's go to tone curves, and particularly RGB tone curves. Let's make a small S curve. Let's make another reverse S curve. Actually, you have to lift the top portion of blues to introduce yellows in the highlights. And with the green curve, you can. The basically green curve is different than the two other curves. You have to use it carefully. Even I rarely use it, or I sometimes don't even use it, just like that. let's change the tint before and after. Let's add some vignette. And we forgot to add texture, I guess. Okay, this one looks just fine. This is before and this is after. I hope you learned about using these new tools like color range. In next video we will see luminance range masking. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments from which tools you want to learn about. Thank you for watching.